It's Naeem here. Welcome back to episode number 6 of NTV. I'm down here in Dallas, Texas at the Mudsmith Coffee Shop getting ready for our event with Tony Robbins next week. It's called Unleash the Power Within. It's an awesome event. If you've never been, check it out. Tony is amazing at what he does. So today we're going to talk about the way to focus on what you want to create in your life, right? Because we all know, you got to have a vision for your life. What do you want, right, to begin with? But then the question is, how do you actually do it, right? Nobody ever teaches us how to do it, right? So I'm going to teach you real quick, high level on how to do it. Simple, actionable action steps you can take right now that's not too complicated, right? And that will start getting your results, right? So there's 3 rules I have, or 3 steps, right? Number 1, you got to be playful. You got to have fun with it. You got to go easy on yourself. You got to build on success, right? So no matter what it is you're doing, always have fun with it, be playful, because your brain is so much more powerful when you're playful, right? So enjoy the process. It's not a test. It's not the end of the world. There's always time for fun and play, right? Picasso always talked about play. Richard Branson talks about play and fun. It's a lot of people's number 1 rule, right? And most successful people, even that don't even say it, they don't even realize they play when they work, right? So focus on being playful, enjoy the process, have fun with it, okay? And if you're an achiever, achieve enjoyment. How about that one, right? And then number 2, when you're visualizing things, right? When you're actually trying to focus on what you want, not even just visualizing, right? When you focus on what you want, there's 3 main modalities, right? The first one is visualization, right? Second one I'd say is auditory. Third one I'd say is kinesthetic. There's a few more. I'm not gonna get into them. I'm gonna just keep this high level, right? It's not that order, but visual, auditory, kinesthetic, right? So basically, say you want to achieve a goal. Say I want to get a new goldfish, right? That's my goal, right? So if I don't have a goldfish right now, what's it gonna be like when I have this goldfish, right? What am I gonna see, right? What kind of fishbowl is it gonna be? What's the color orange gonna be, right? Because there's different sub-modalities when you're in that modality, even, right? So when you're in the visual modality of seeing your goldfish, seeing the aquarium, seeing the water, what's the color, right? What's the brightness? Is it bright? Or is it kind of dark like it is in here, right? Or what's the size, right? Is it really big? Is it a huge goldfish? Or is it a small little tiny goldfish, right? What else is there? There's so many different submodalities. Off the top of my head, I can't really think. Oh, distance, right? What's the distance, right? Is the goldfish really close to you when you're visualizing? Is it really far away from you, right? Or there's a few more, you can look them up. I'd say a lot more, I'm sorry, not just a few more, there's a lot more, right? So that's in the visual modality. There's sub-modalities, right? So when you're thinking about your goldfish, what do you see? What are the colors? What's the brightness? What's the distance? What's the size of it, right? And then let's go to auditory now, right? So what do you see, or what do you hear, I'm sorry, when you are visualizing or experiencing, experiencing the process of having a goldfish, right? So what do you say to yourself maybe? Maybe you're like, I'm so happy I have my goldfish, right? Or maybe you gave your goldfish a name. What's the name, right? Maybe you're talking to your goldfish. What do you say to your goldfish? I know this sounds crazy right now. I can't believe I'm saying this stuff. I know, it's crazy, right? But just play with me. Because successful people do what unsuccessful people are not willing to do, right? So it's usually crazy when people aren't successful in the outside world, but then when they get successful, people are like, oh yeah, I knew the whole time, I'm with that guy, or I'm with that girl, right? Then you're like, then they're not crazy anymore, then they're cool, right? So basically, what are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to other people? What are other people saying to you about the goldfish? Right? That's the auditory, right? And then again, there's submodalities in the auditory, right? So there is volume, there is tempo, there's tone, right? So are you speaking at a really high tone like this? I don't even know if I'm doing that right. Or a low tone like this, right? Are you speaking at a very high volume or a low volume, like a whisper, right? Or is there a pitch involved, right? There's pitch. So there's different, again, submodalities in the auditory modality, right? So again, that's auditory. And then the third thing, let's go with kinesthetic, right? So maybe what does it feel like emotionally to have the goldfish, right? Do you feel really happy? Do you feel really excited? Do you feel really proud? Do you feel like a camaraderie with you and the goldfish, right? And then even aside from the emotional part, what does it physically feel like, right? Maybe when you're putting your hand in the water to clean the goldfish, maybe you pick up the goldfish. What does that feel like to have the goldfish in your hand, right? So that's the And then in kinesthetic, again, there's submodalities in the kinesthetic, right? So there's, maybe it's fuzzy, not a goldfish probably, right? Maybe it's slimy, a goldfish. Maybe the water's cold. Maybe it's warm water. So there's temperature, there is, for kinesthetic, again, it's slipping my mind right now, but there's all these different submodalities for kinesthetic as well, right? Temperature, texture, right? Like smoothness or rugged and so on and so forth, right? So visual, auditory, kinesthetic modalities, right? So the last part is, after being playful, being fun, enjoying the process, number 2, the modalities, visual, auditory, kinesthetic. Then the last part is to actually get yourself into the experience, right? Because there's basically 2 ways that human beings operate in this world. One is associated. When you're in the experience, you feel it. You're in first person. It's like you're there, right? So it's like you close your eyes, you visualize yourself, you feel yourself in the experience with your goldfish, right? You're seeing it there, it's right in front of you, it's first person, eye to eye. Or you can be disassociated, where you're basically seeing yourself, like for example on a movie screen, right? Maybe you're seeing a movie, picture yourself as the character in the movie and the goldfish in the movie. You're disassociated, right? And that's also a good way in some experiences or some examples when you want to disassociate yourself from an emotion that isn't serving you, right? So maybe when you're going out to public speak and you're a little nervous about something, maybe it's helpful to use that internally in your head to disassociate yourself so you can be confident and not be freaking out inside, right? So, but in this experience, when it's about creating something you want to associate yourself into the experience and feel the feelings you'd be having when you already achieved it. Make sense? So that's pretty much it, guys. Number 1, be playful. Number 2, focus on the overarching modalities and then the submodalities within each modality, right? And number 3, focus on associating into the experience of what you want, right? And I'd say do this even for as little as 30 seconds a day. That's powerful. That'll change your life because again, it trains your brain to focus on what you want, and it not just again intellectually saying it. You focus on it in your body, and it gets more and more powerful every single time you do it. You build the muscle every single time, right? So maybe do it in the morning, maybe do it at night before you go to sleep. I do it before I go into a meeting sometimes, actually all the time before I go into meetings. I visualize and I feel and I hear what my client's gonna say to me after a successful meeting, right? Or maybe when I'm doing something else that's really significant for me, when I'm going out to hang out with friends and family, I see, I hear, I feel, what's it gonna be like to be in the situation I wanna create, right? And simple questions you could ask yourself is, what do I see? What do I hear? What do I feel? Right? Simple as that. Right? So guys, I hope you had an awesome time on this episode. If you have any questions, hit me up. You can email me, hit me up on Twitter. Some of you guys know my number. Give me a call if you want. Have an awesome day. Start building this muscle. Practice this every day. This will change your life. I promise you. The better you get at it, the easier it'll get, and you'll get more subconsciously competent at it, where you just do it automatically. Right? All right, guys, take it easy. Have a great one. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.